back to my channel, Erica's Diary. Thank you so much. I hope you had a awesome, happy Thanksgiving. I do want to let you know that I am thankful for each and every one of you who has been watching my videos, who's been liking, commenting, subscribing. If you have not yet subscribed, make sure you hit that button and hit that notification bell so you will not miss a new upload. So you guys, I'm thinking this actually might be the last video of the year for me, and I will come back with some fresh new content for 2022. So I thought that, I end this diary series with overall the things that I have endured and dealt with this year, the things that I feel like God was really dealing with me about. And so I'm going to give you 5 things, and as you can see in the title, I titled this Growing Pains. Man, you turn a certain age, you think you grown. You paying some bills, you think you're grown. You're not grown if you ain't dealing with all in here. You're not. You can still be a little girl in here, okay? So I've been learning that I'm just going to give you the 5 things in no particular order, but number 1 that I think has been a battle for me is people pleasing. I've learned that people pleasing pleases everybody else but you. So when I say that, I don't mean, doing things for people's approval. What I mean is not being able to say no. I always say yes to everything. It's very hard for me to say no. It's hard for me to say no professionally. It's hard for me to say no in my personal life. And it really takes a toll on me a lot. And this year has been one of the years where I really just, it was a challenge for me to say no. I had to say no to people that I never say no to. And it really just made me realize that I have to say yes to myself, because if I'm saying yes to everyone else, guess what that means? That means I'm saying no to myself. So if I'm saying yes to myself, that means I have to say no to other things and other people. Now, I'm the type of person that I feel like I always show up. But if I can't show up my best self, if I can't show up mentally healthy, if I can't show up in the best attitude, in the best energy, then what good am I as a friend? What good am I as a daughter? What good am I as a sister if I can't show up in my best self? So what I realized, though, is that I can show up every single time for someone, but people are going to remember that one time you ain't show up. And a lot of people are, just thinking about themselves and just like, you always show up for me and you didn't show up for this one time. Well, I've learned that no is a complete sentence. And so, yes, I may care about the friendship, or I may care about, my parents and what they think if I don't show up at something. But I have to realize that no is a complete sentence, and I don't necessarily owe anyone an explanation on why I can't show up. Maybe I just do not have the mental capacity to show up. Maybe I'm really holding things heavy on my shoulders where I cannot show up. Maybe I have a lot of responsibility that I cannot show up. And so what I've realized is that it was only a detriment to me when I wasn't saying no, when I wasn't putting my foot down and putting boundaries up. I think that if you're like me and you feel like you people please, the main way you can stop doing that is putting up some strict boundaries. That may be including you don't have to respond to the text. You don't have to answer the phone call. You don't even have to call that person back. If you literally don't have the energy to do it, you're not well enough to do it in your mind. Maybe you're just having an off day, or even if you're just having a great day and you just want to be to yourself, you don't owe anyone else that explanation. And that's what I had to be okay with, because people pleasing, like I said, only pleases everyone else but you. So that's number 1. Number 2, I wrote my notes down, I gotta be prepared, is be kinder to yourself and treat yourself well. So this is something that I realized I felt like God was telling me in my prayer time. One of the ways I feel like God talks to me is when I am literally writing out my prayers in my prayer journal. And one day I was writing about, like, it was at the end of the day, and I was just like, I know I need to be able to, get up at this time and study this much and do this and do this and do this, and just being so hard on myself on what I'm not doing. And I was literally writing in the prayer, and I felt like God interrupted and literally was like, I need for you to show yourself more grace. I need for you to be kinder to yourself. I need for you to treat yourself well. I need you to treat yourself better. Because it's like I'm so hard on myself, which a lot of us are. But it was like God was literally interrupted that little prayer session I was having with myself and was like, be kinder to yourself. I heard that so clearly. And whether that be just being more conscious of, okay, Erica, if you can't get up and do all your things on your little to-do list, that doesn't make you less productive. Just because you're busy don't make you productive. You could be busy and not complete anything. What productivity is in that, So I think instead of me being this performance workhorse, workaholic, if I can't do but one thing, that's okay. And I think because this entire year has been such an emotional roller coaster of me just purging out a lot of pain and things like that, that I was not giving myself enough grace and enough time to really move past it in a healthy way. So I have this little person on my shoulder like, girl, how many times you gonna cry on this? How many times you gonna get upset about this? How many times you want to talk about this? How many times you gonna be mad about it? Let's move on. Let's go. Like, I have that side of me, and then I have the side of me that's like, oh, I need to cry about it again, And it's like, if I'm just learning, if I have to cry about something, let myself do that. Let myself do it. It's actually healthy. And then another way to be kinder to myself is, not, people think, when they say self-care and, focus on yourself, self-care don't necessarily mean you got to go get your nails and toes done. That's a great way to do it if that helps you relax. Side note, probably the only woman on the planet who gets their nails and toes done, but it's not relaxing for me. It's not. I just do it because I want my hands and feet to look nice, but it's not relaxing for me. I'm very ticklish on my feet. My hands, I don't really like people touching my hands. I've been like that since I was a child. So that's not really my definition of self-care, but whatever. So self-care could literally just be journaling, writing my thoughts out, watching my favorite movie. It could be me talking to my mom, and just getting all of my out to my mom. She's my best friend. Or, it just ways that I could be kinder to myself. Like, I've treated myself to a really nice gift. And at first I wasn't going to buy it because I was just like, nah, you could be doing this, and this with that. But I was like, no, be kind to yourself. Like, if this is something that you feel like that you want or you want to treat yourself to, do it. So I bought it, and there was a way that you could send it as put a gift message in it. I put a gift message to myself that said, be kinder to yourself. So when I finally got the gift, I opened it and it said, be kinder to yourself. And I was like, you know what? I love you, me. So I'm trying to be more aware and more conscious of being kinder to myself and just showing myself a lot more grace than I do. I can show anyone else grace like it ain't nothing, but why can't I show myself that same grace? Okay, number 3, the season of not yet. Okay, this whole year, and I want to say last year and the year before that, has been the season of not yet. So when I think of the season of not yet, that means it's not necessarily a no, it's not necessarily a yes, it's a not yet. So in order for me to endure a season of not yet, when I have so many things that I am believing God for, that means I have to have patience. I have to exercise patience with which my normal personality. I can have patience with some things and some people, but most of the time I'm like, let's get it done. What are we doing? Come on, let's do it. What are we doing? And that's not how God works. I'm also very like detail oriented. I gotta know the reasons why. I gotta know the details. That's not how God works. So I've been learning that in the season of not yet, I'm not gonna have the details. It may be very confusing. It's a lot of silence within this season. There's sometimes where I'm like, God, am I not hearing you? Why are you not talking to me? I thought you said this, but no, that's clearly what I want or what's coming from myself. And the season of not yet is just a waiting period. And I feel like God is using that to develop me, because obviously there's things that I still need to let go of or move past, or just lay it down. And also in this season of not yet, I feel hidden. Like not in the way of like I gotta have attention or I gotta have 1 million followers or 1 million viewers or anything like that. I mean like hidden. Even my biggest desire, like I've said in the beginning of this entire diary series, is a relationship. And well, not a relationship, let's say my spouse. Let me clear that up. And I feel hidden in that area too. I feel like, of course, there have been opportunities for me to meet people, for me to go on dates with people, but I just feel like it's just not there. And I'm just like, okay, I felt ready and I'm just hidden from that area in my life. I feel like I'm hidden also in terms of my career. I feel like I'm hidden in, the brand that I started with my interior design. I feel like I'm hidden with this diary series. I feel like I have great content, and I feel like I'm really being vulnerable, which I'm not used to doing, and putting myself out there, putting my story out there, telling you that I'm dealing with loneliness, telling you that I've been through a situationship, telling you that I've been through a relationship that ended so traumatically. Like, I don't put my business out in the streets, and they out here in the streets, because I feel like, being able to put that out there, you may be able to help somebody else. And I feel like when you have a gift or you go through something, that gift is not just for you, and what you go through is not just for you. So my point is, I feel hidden in all areas of my life. And one thing that I've been learning, that God has provided understanding for me, is that God hides things of value. If you think about it, diamonds are hidden in a rock. Pearls are hidden in the bottom of the sea. Gold is hidden in a gold mine. Like, if you just really think about that, it kind of helps me get some understanding. Like, okay, well, God, obviously he values everyone, but when you feel hidden, it can feel like a negative thing. Like, well, God, like, I'm ready to, I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to be out here. I'm ready to be, number one. I'm ready, and then God's like, nah, this is a season of not yet. We still got some work to do. And God is definitely in no hurry. So I just, thinking of this season of not yet is also my silent, hidden, I'm in development, under construction season. Okay, number 4 is letting go of emotional baggage. Whoo, child. So I used to walk around like, I'd be ready for a relationship because I don't have no baggage. Girl, I have a whole 6-piece suitcase set of emotional baggage that I had to purge out this year. I feel like this year has been the year that I have cried the most ever in my life. And I think it just was a purging of everything from past years and then some stuff this year. But things that I just, again, did not allow myself, like I would cut myself off from being emotional about it, from crying about it. Like, yeah, I would have my crying moments, but I wouldn't deal with it. I would just like cry about it. Okay, cool, we moving on. Okay, what's next? Okay, let me move, let me get in another apartment, let me get another career, like just in performance mode, thinking that that's moving on, but you still got that baggage holding on to you. So this year has definitely been a lot of me, just like I said in one of my very first diary entries, where I went on the Daniel fast and I thought that I was going to sit there and just be able to pray. And most of those days I was sitting there just in tears, crying and crying and crying. And it was really cleansing. I still cry a lot and over things that I'm still struggling to really like just release and let it go, and it doesn't matter anymore. But I feel like, again, part of my growing pains is I'm gonna have to let go of these types of emotional baggage, and I've been asking God for like understanding on why certain things didn't work out, because of course, you know, the scripture says lean not on your own understanding, of course. And like I said earlier, I was like, I gotta have a reason, I gotta have the details, I gotta have logic, and that's not how God works. So not necessarily me not saying, God, I need to understand this. And people be like, everything happens for a reason, and then I just be like, well, what was the reason? Sometimes you'll never ever know the reason, but the problem with that is we want to understand the reason when we want to understand it. If somebody does us wrong, we want to get them back right then. But it's like learning to just let go if someone does you wrong. Let go if you never get an apology from someone. Let go if something didn't turn out the way that you thought it would. Let go if somebody take something from you. Just being able to let go of that emotional baggage, because when you think about getting into any type of relationship with anyone, this could be a friendship, a partnership, a family relationship with anyone, they leave something with you. They're dropping a piece, they're taking a piece of you, and they're dropping something from them in you. So think about how all of those different type of emotions that come out of those different relationships and those different bonds, it sticks with you. And so I had to realize, like, I'm actually carrying around all of this baggage. And so me being able to release it and cry about it and just move forward has been a challenge. But I really have made a lot of progress. I have gotten understanding on certain situations, certain people, and God has made it clear to me. So number 5, and we'll wrap this thing up, is healing takes time. So this kind of just goes back into everything I was saying about, like, okay, if I gotta cry, let myself cry. Healing is definitely, like I've said before, it's not a linear process. It's one day I feel like I'm just killing it, like, ooh, got my little bobby pin things in. Tomorrow I could be looking like the day before yesterday with my glasses on, because sometimes it just hits you like that. Sometimes your mind will just wander off into those type of thoughts, and you'll be like, dang, I thought I was healed from this. Or you will see something, you'll be out somewhere and something triggers you back to that moment that you've had to heal from. But also what I had to learn is, like, the person or the people or the situation or the job that hurt you cannot heal you. And I think a lot of us be, relying on, well, you hurt me and this is what you did to me, and that person, that business, that company, they cannot fix what they did, because half the time they don't even realize what they've done, and half the time they done moved on with their life while you're still sitting over here crying about what somebody did to you. But I had to learn that healing takes time, and just surrendering to God and allowing Him to work on me, and allowing, if I just sit there and cry, That's okay. I don't always have to come with something to say. A lot of the times God probably be like, girl, can you relax? Can I talk? Girl, can I say something? But I just realized that healing is so necessary. And I think that a lot of us, I feel like everyone will encounter healing, but it's a scary place because it really starts to bring up things within yourself. You know, you think you're gonna heal if you see the person that did you wrong, they got karma. That's not gonna heal you, boo. Healing is working on within yourself. So those are the 5 things that I feel like have been growing pains for me. And I just pray that, and for you too, that this going into this next year, that if you are dealing with anything, that you stand up to it, that you face it, that you embrace it, that you embrace the tears, you embrace the healing process. And that's exactly what it is. It's a process. It's grieving, really. It's either you're grieving a loss or just grieving change. And it's something where you have to accept it. You have to accept, once you accept what has happened, then you can really start to heal. Once you can accept it and let it go, you can start to heal. And nobody can tell you how long it's going to take for you to heal. No one can tell you, no one can put a time stamp on, okay, you should be over this by now. Like, if you're actively working on moving forward, just making sure that you didn't do like me and you're just doing things in performance mode, thinking that you're moving forward, but really you're dragging everything with you as you're moving forward. But I can say that God has really, well, maybe I have really held on to God, and God has really held on to me throughout this year. It has been tough, and I would just sum that up as my growing pains. So you guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed some of the things that I had to say. Please leave a comment. I love reading your comments. Like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in 2022. Mwah.